So this is an InDesign introduction. We are going to start with a new file, tabloid size, using points as our unit of measurement. And once we have that, we're going to go to the Pages window, deselecting the Allowed Document and Selected Spread buttons. And that will allow us to snap extra pages onto our spread. So here I am adding some guidelines to the margins. The point of doing the InDesign layout is to get your image and text to align with each other. And I am looking at the screen mode button, toggling between the normal and preview. And then the next tool is the frame edges. And you could choose a whole bunch of things you want to see in the frame edge. The tools we're going to use are the rectangle frame tool, the type tool, and we're going to talk about the rectangle frame tools. There's two of them in a second. One is called rectangle frame and the other one is just called rectangle tool. In the rectangle frame tool, you're going to get an X, which is an image marker. So you don't have to put in your images right away, but you can go to object content and you can unassign it if you want the X to go away. And we're going to place an image into this box. And right away we see that the image is bigger than the box. So we can grab the middle toggle handle and you can see the whole image there. And that's the first way that we can adjust the image, is to just grab the whole image and try to fit it into the box. There are more ways to do this, but this is the first way. The second way is to double click, go to the fitting option, and you could follow all of the options. So fitting frame, it will find the widest dimension and fit that. Fit content proportionally will find the whole image in the frame. This third option will repeat more or less what the first one is doing depending on the frame proportion. Fit frame to content will change the frame size to the image size, and fit content to frame, oops, we have to go backwards. Fit content to frame will do the reverse, and you see it squeezes the image, so we don't want that. So what we want is, seems like fit the first option, fit to frame. Okay. You can play around with this and see what best suits your image and frame proportion. So I'm going to draw a regular rectangle without the rectangle frame tool. And you see it's just a regular rectangle with no marker in it. So now I'm just placing my guidelines. I'm using a set distance that I'm going to reuse over and over again. And I'm just grabbing the guide so that, I'm using the rulers to do this. And I'm making sure that my rulers are, or my guides are unlocked so I can move them back and forth. But you could grab your ruler in the corner and drag it to the corner of a new frame if you want to zero out that measurement to the corner, and then you can now put the next guideline exactly where you want it. So I'm just using a round number. I think it's 100 points, right? And you can see in your layers, you can re-choose your rectangle in your layers tool because it will become invisible once it becomes deselected. And we're going to place an image into that box as well. So both boxes can receive images. It's just that one is really designed as a placeholder while the other one is kind of an open content. So I'm grabbing the handle and I'm just moving the image back and forth just so that it fits nicer into our composition. And now I'm going to draw the text box. You can see that with the Smart Guide, it will tell you when your text box aligns with the closest frame or proportion. And I am going to just grab some text from my script and just import, copy, paste. And there we have some text. I'm going to get back to the text in a second, but I'm just going to quickly put in another guideline. You can see that those boxes are aligned. And I'm going to just drag the rectangle, and we're going to make a placeholder for an image. Make sure that it's unassigned, since we know that we're going to put an image in there, and we're going to place an image. So let's see how this fits. If we do the first fit frame proportionally, no, fit content. That's pretty good. Okay. All right, so that was lucky. And you can see now that in the normal screen mode, there are links to your images. And if you open the link window, you can see all of your content in the link window. So we are going to select this image and edit it through Photoshop. This image is connected to your InDesign layout. So any changes you make in here will be changed in your layout. It's a pretty neat workflow. And I'm using the heal tool to just clean up those edges so that they're not white. Minimizing the brush a little bit. The heal tool is a really fantastic tool to do this. In a way, it's kind of like an automated clone tool. And now I'm just going to change the color balance so that the entire palette will go with my layout. So a little bit more blue in the shadows, a little more contrast in the highlights. And now I'm just going to pump up the shadows with a little more blue in it so we get more contrast. Okay, so now we save this image. And when we return to InDesign, you will see that the image is now the updated image from Photoshop. So if we Command Z, we can go backwards and see what it looks like, and now we can go back forwards, and you can see that there's a difference in the image.